Hey Jen.
Hi, Krista.
Nice to finally meet you. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright.
Good.
Did you make it here okay? How was parking?
Oh, it was okay. It's I mean, there's a lot of snow out there and there's a lot of cars, but I made it.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you found the parking not too bad. Some people struggle with that. Anyways, just to let you know, everything that's said here is confidential unless you happen to mention anything about a minor under 16 being harmed in any way,
Okay.
or if you mention anything that might suggest that you might harm yourself or someone else. That's the only situation where I'd have to let the appropriate authorities know, just to kind of protect everyone's safety. But otherwise, everything said between us will stay with us.
Okay.
Unless you want certain things forwarded to your family doctor. That's
Okay.
still up to you, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome.
But
Thank
any
you.
questions you have at all with confidentiality, feel free to stop and ask me at any time.
Okay, so I can stop at any time
Yeah.
while talking? Okay.
Definitely.
Great. Thank you.
No problem. So I was just want to ask you first off, what brings you here today? Why counseling for you?
I guess I've just been feeling kind of stressed lately, just with a lot of things going on, and it'd be kind of nice to have an extra person to talk to, you know, who maybe isn't my partner or my family or my friends, but just somebody who has an outside look on my life.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you want a third party, an objective view on maybe how things are going in your life at this time. You want maybe a bit of a soundboard, somebody to express your feelings to who isn't too close to you.
Yeah.
Like a counselor.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Okay. So when you say things in your life are stressing you out, what does that mean? Like what things and what's stress to you, I guess?
Well, I think stress to me is, like, I can feel it in my body. Like, I feel overwhelmed, I don't sleep well, I feel unhappy, and, like, it's like sometimes it's hard to face the world every day because I feel like it's so overwhelming.
Yeah. When you say you feel the stress in your body, where in your body do you normally feel it, and how often every week would you say out of the week would you feel that stress?
I definitely feel tension in my shoulders and my neck. I feel my heart racing when I'm feeling stressed or anxious about something. And yeah, like I feel my breathing, and I would say that I feel that every day.
Every day?
Or most days, yeah.
Would you say once a day, or is it closer to 5 times a day, or 3 times a day?
I think with the pain, like with the tension in my shoulders and stuff, that's kind of constant. And you know, sometimes I try to use strategies to make that go away or make it better, but it's kind of always there. But then with the feeling really overwhelmed and having breathing, really racing heart and that kind of thing, probably a couple times every day, at least once a day.
Okay. So this sounds like it's noticeable to you every day.
Yeah.
Some days better than others?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So it's not like constant getting worse, getting worse, getting worse.
No, some days are better than others.
Okay. Okay. So what about your life right now do you think is causing you to feel this type of stress this often?
I think I'm feeling overwhelmed and just that I'm just so busy. Like with school, I'm really busy. I'm still trying to work because I need the income. And I just feel like I'm really busy and that I can't keep up with social things. I've kind of been turning social things down just so I can catch a break. But then I feel like I'm missing out, and that's kind of stressful. I feel like I really like to keep my house really nice, and I feel like I just can't stay on top of all the chores, and that every time I turn around there's another mess and there's more work to do, and it just feels like the work never ends.
I see. So who do you live with, or do you live alone right now?
I live with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a cat.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's important to you to keep a tidy home, and that's important to you. Do you get any help? Do you feel like you get any help around the home, or do you feel like a lot of it's on you?
I feel like I do. I mean, my partner and I, you know, we really would like to have an equal distribution of labor, but we're both really busy. Like, we both have grad school applications right now, and he works full time, and I'm in school full time, and I think that it's more important to me than it is to him that the house is really clean, and I think it's just, I have a lot of anxiety around that he doesn't quite have the same reaction to a mess for. So I feel like I end up doing more of it a lot of the time, just because it's driving me crazy.
So you're saying it makes you feel, would you say it makes you feel a bit better or less anxious if you clean something that you feel needs to be done?
Yes. When it's done, I feel better about it. But when I see that it needs to be done and I don't have time to do it, or I'm really tired, then it just is stressing me out.
Okay. Have you ever tried consciously and mindfully chosen not to do something because you were too tired or too busy? And if you did that, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I've tried that I think a couple times. I have a hard time with that though. And there has been times when it's worked, especially if I've been able to be in a room that's not messy and leave the other rooms where I can't really see them. But there have been times when, there's been times when it's worked, and then there's been times where it made me feel worse because I felt like the job was getting bigger.
Okay. Okay. Have you had any time to work things out with you and your partner in terms of sharing the load, even though you're both busy? Maybe working out certain times in the week or certain times in the day that work for both of you as individuals, that would work to do a little cleanup so that it's not all on you or your partner. Have you tried any strategies?
Just talking about it, but we haven't really tried any strategy.
Okay. Is there maybe a day in the week where it's the least busiest day or not as busy? Or a time in the day?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the evenings is like least busy for us.
Okay.
But sometimes that's really late, and sometimes we're really tired by the time we get home.
True.
So, but I would say that on the weekend is when we have the most time to do chores. Okay.
Have you ever thought about listing and writing down what certain chores that absolutely need to be done either every day or every week, at least once a week, and then actually seeing visually how many chores you have to do and seeing if you could split it up as evenly as possible, and then you could kind of create your own schedule, like print out calendars, put it on the fridge or anywhere where you'll both see it every day, and then, you know, say for example, this Saturday you would clean the bathroom and maybe your partner would clean the living room, and then every week it would change and be a different place and a different person doing different things, so that it's maybe one job a week, one bigger job a week, but then it's only one job a week, and you kind of know when it's coming, so you know when to expect it, and then it's shared as well.
Right. I think that's a really good idea. I haven't thought of that before.
Okay. So do you have access to, a lot of, most computers have access to calendars that you can just print off?
I think
you
so.
You can print off November's calendar. Okay, and maybe try that and go from there, and, you know, do it together whenever the next time you have time together. Yeah?
Okay, yeah, good idea. I'll try that.
Okay, and then maybe next time that we meet next week, you can let me know how that goes.
Sure.
And then if you feel like you need to tweak it a bit, we can work on changing that a bit to see if another way would work. Yeah, is there anything else other than the stress of feeling overwhelmed about the housework? Anything else that's really pressing on you and making you feel those physical symptoms?
I think that I feel... I think that's what is the most pressing. It's like I feel like I have so much work to do, but that's the one where for some reason it makes me feel super stressed.
Okay.
So the rest I feel like I'm managing okay. Like I'm getting through it. I'm scheduling things and managing my time. But yeah, that the chores seem to be the thing that sits on the back burner and like isn't a pressing issue. So then when I see that the house is messy, it becomes a pressing issue for me. So.
That's true. So have you tried any techniques before about how to help you reduce the physical symptoms of stress that you're feeling that might work for you? Has anyone ever taught you or told you anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Have you ever done different deep breathing exercises that might help reduce anxious feelings in your mind and your body?
No.
Okay.
I try to make sure I'm breathing when I'm feeling that way, but never tried that.
Okay. Sometimes being actively mindful of your breath can, and there's been many studies done, that it does help reduce mental, emotional, and physical sensations of stress in anyone's body. So one example I could give you that you could do at home or anywhere, you could do it in your car at a traffic light.
Okay.
It's called box breathing. So that's when you would only breathe through your nose on the first inhale for 3 seconds, then you hold it for 2, then you exhale for another 3, and then you inhale again. So it's just kind of this circular or box-like motion of the breath, and it's really a good mindful activity because it helps you focus on the breath going in through your nose and then out your mouth. And it spaces out the inhale and exhales by holding it. And I find, and it's been proven in some studies, that doing that several times can even slow down or stop an anxiety attack.
Really?
So if you want to try that while you're home, you can do it by yourself or with your partner, and then we can maybe start next week's session with a few of those breathing exercises, and then if you feel like you need more help doing it, I could show you that technique, what works for me, and then if you find that doesn't work, there's many other breathing techniques that could work and help release the physical stress that you're feeling.
Great.
Especially in the chest and neck and shoulder area, which seems to be really problematic for you.
Definitely.
And it's really common for a lot of people. It's good to remind yourself that you're not the only one dealing with this. A lot of people feel stress in those parts of their body.
Right.
So let me just check how we're doing for time here. So I know you have a long drive.
Yeah.
To back to Toronto tonight. So we have a few minutes left. So is there any other pressing questions or feelings you might have about our first session? Maybe something you want to bring up that I could think about to maybe bring you some resources for next week?
I think definitely the breathing exercise would be useful for me. And maybe other things around managing my anxiety. Because maybe that's a big part of it. I've kind of been wondering if maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of things than I need to. And maybe some of the things around the house that I think are a big problem don't need to be such a big problem. Like maybe my anxiety is making me feel that it's more important than it is. So.
Yeah, that is a possibility. Anxiety can sometimes warp how we see reality. However, it's important to you, right? Having a clean house, that doesn't mean it's wrong, that you find it's very important for whatever reason it's important. It's more managing the anxiety surrounding that issue, and so that it doesn't affect your physical and mental health and doesn't affect the rest of your life. So I think it's okay to feel anxious about some things. It's more about managing it so that it doesn't get too much power over us. I think that's what we're trying to manage here. And I actually just got an email from my supervisor about a women's only anxiety workshop that's going on in 2 weeks. Is that something you might be interested in, just to learn more about anxiety and that women face?
Yeah, I think women especially, you know, we sometimes feel like we're expected to be super women, I think. So.
And I think that's why it is a women's only group, and it's open for people who identify as women, because it seems there's a lot of pressures on women nowadays, a lot of different pressures than what men may have to deal with. And you might find some people there that are dealing with similar things, so it might help you feel a little better about that, knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah, that would be really nice to connect with some other people.
It's a full day thing, but it will be on a weekend, and lunch will be provided.
Awesome.
And you'll get in through my referral if you're interested. So if you're interested, you just have to let me know by next session.
Okay, sure. If maybe you could forward that email to me, and I'll check it out. That'd be great.
Yeah, I can forward you the link to what's on the workshop.
Right, yeah.
From my work email, but and then you'll just let me know in person. And I've given you my office number and extension, and you can let me know in person next week.
Sure.
Or just give me a quick call and leave a message.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That sounds great.
So thanks for meeting with me today. I hope I provided some information that might be useful to you.
Definitely.
And I hope feel free to practice the box breathing and let me know how it goes by next week, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
You too. Bye,
See you
Krista.
next week.